Hi and welcome to Healthy Living. I'm Debbie Lyons here today with Kelly Presnell, Director of Public Relations and Marketing here at Hilton Head Hospital. Yes. And we have an interesting guest today.
Yes, our Patient Safety Officer, Beth Gasiorowski, is here, and she's always fun to talk to because she touches so many parts of the hospital. She's really integral in everything that's going on here, knows the nurses, knows the doctors intimately, and is a champion for patient safety. Which is awesome.
It is. Yeah. I always find her interesting to talk to because I think from a patient point of view, we want to know what procedures are in place and what's new and innovative. Right. And you always have new quality of care procedures in place.
We do. It's so important for us to always look at best practices. How can we always put the patient first in a safe environment so that they can leave here and have a good, healthy outcome.
Let's talk to Beth.
No one likes to wait, especially in any ER waiting room. I mean, when I'm sick or my family has a medical issue, I don't feel like waiting around with a lot of other people. Not to mention they're sick too. Honey. And my family does not wait patiently. You can imagine how uncomfortable and how long it can seem. But then I found out it doesn't have to be that way. I can check in online and wait anywhere I want. What's not to love? It's the smarter way to ER at Hilton Head Hospital.
Pain. It can be different things for different people. A shoulder that takes you out of the game. A knee that stops you in your tracks. Ready to return to a better you? Hilton Head Hospital is here, right in the Low Country, to help heal what hurts. From diagnosis to treatment to full recovery, our fellowship-trained orthopedic specialists are committed to getting you back to your best. Hilton Head Hospital. Extraordinary care right here at home.
We are back here on Healthy Living talking to our Beth today. We get to talk occasionally, and it's really wonderful because we're talking a lot about patient safety and all of the things that you have and implement, new things that are going on at the hospital. And as always, first of all, I have to say this, you look fantastic.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're telling me you're boot camping and
running.
Cardiac rehab downstairs.
Cardiac rehab open to us. As they say, I want to do the exercise now so I don't have to go to cardiac rehab later.
I'm always impressed. You guys are really a well organization.
Yes, we got the Gold Apple Award
exactly
for fitness within the employee system. We have Monday nights they have free yoga for the employees, and Wednesday night they have free boot camp for the employees.
I actually walked the walking track one time too. That was pretty interesting. It really is. Well, let's talk about patient safety and some of the new things that you've implemented.
Okay. One of the favorite portions is hand washing. Hand washing is always big in the hospital. You know, it is always a focus, constant focus.
Exactly.
And we were in a little contest that was run by our
Don't mind me,
home
I'm
office.
moving my mic. Keep going.
And the object was to make a 3-minute video on hand washing, and it needed to be educational, or it needed to be entertaining, which of course we won the entertaining portion.
Yes, of course. Because if you're entertained, it will be educational because I'll remember it.
That's right. So what we did was we did sort of an offshoot on The Bachelor. We had a bachelor with 5 bachelorettes, and what we did was each bachelorette had to cover an element of hand washing. So, you know, you wet your hands, you lather your hands, you rub, you know, you scrub your hands, rinse your hands, dry your hands.
Okay.
All within singing happy birthday twice.
Of course.
As you hear them tell the school children. And we did it so that we had one of the winners, the bachelorette, won.
Oh, that's so cool.
Did the proper hand washing techniques from start to finish, and she was given a big bottle of hand sanitizer and a red rose.
But you know, we laugh about it and we tease about it, but I keep reading from an evidence-based point of view, it's the #1 prevention of transmitting germs and disease.
Absolutely. In the hospital especially, but this translates into the community. So you want to make sure you wash your hands before eating, after eating. obviously using the restroom. When you touch any high-touch surfaces, you don't realize what's there.
It was so funny. I just got back from New York, and I swear I felt like a surgeon because everywhere I went, it'd be like wash, wash. You know.
That's right.
Once you're aware of it, you're aware of it.
Right, and we monitor it. We audit it. We have secret shoppers.
Now, what does that mean?
We have people that nobody knows who they are, and they wander around and they watch when nurses, dietary, housekeeping, anyone goes in and out of the room. You need to use hand sanitizer or wash your hands before you go in or when you're in the room and when you come out. So there are people watching that, and they mark it down and audit, keep an audit trail of how many people are complying. We also have some people that have these special machines, and they test. They go in rooms that have been cleaned with an ultraviolet light.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And they check the high-touch surfaces to see if they are appropriately cleaned.
It's really interesting, isn't it?
It's very high-tech.
What is this?
This is a new program. We have a new director of environmental services, and he has come with a program that he had at prior hospital, and it's called Blue Rag, or Yellow Rag, Blue Rag, Yellow Rag.
Let me go back before and ask you what Director of Environmental Services means. What does that do? What does he do?
Yeah, you know, it's housekeeping.
Okay.
But environmental services, they're responsible for doing complete clean of the room.
It's huge.
It's huge. It's a big job. People don't realize.
Yes.
And they don't realize some things belong to nursing, some things belong to the housekeeping department.
Okay.
But one of the issues that sometimes people raise is you know, you can't tell how many rags they have. Are they using one rag to do the whole room because they're all the same color? Or are they changing
thought about
rags?
that. Yes.
So people get concerned. So he has a program whereby he has them come in with a yellow rag and a blue rag. The blue rag they're using to do the bedside tables, the handrails, the high-touch surfaces that are not like your bathroom.
Gotcha.
So then they put that rag aside, and when they go to do the bathroom portion, they change color rags.
Oh, how interesting.
So you can tell that they're using different rags to clean the toilet ring than they are to clean the bedside table.
You know, I wish I were as creative as that. It makes so much sense, and it's so simple.
Right, right. It gives people security that they know that housekeeping's doing what they're supposed to be doing and keeping everything sanitary.
I would think programs like this make your job much easier.
Much easier.
What are some of the challenging things that you do? What are some things that you as a hospital are working on and doing pretty well with? Because I know you pride yourself on the things that you're doing.
Sure. This is a big program. We've also are about to initiate what's called CareView. CareView is a video monitoring on our telemetry unit. So people who are on the second floor are hooked up already to heart monitors so that we are monitoring you 24/7. We know your heart rate. We know if you're having an issue. It alarms. And there's somebody watching those screens. They notify the nurse. They go in right away and take care of whatever the issue is. Now, in addition to the heart monitors, it's going to be video monitoring, which it doesn't record anything. There's no recording.
Okay.
But it allows us to do something very important so that we can improve and prevent falls.
Okay.
It electronically allows you to put a
perimeter or a border
around the bed.
Okay.
You can, depending on how high risk the patient is. So if they're able to sit up and move and adjust themselves, they're not going to be on a tight perimeter.
Right.
If they are very, very high risk, they're on a tighter perimeter. If they go beyond the perimeter, it alarms.
That's amazing.
It is. And what is really also an enhancement of the system is somebody at the nurse's station can use the call bell system to call in and say, "Mr. Smith, don't get up. I'll send the nurse in right away."
Oh, so it's instant.
It's instant.
Where that alarm goes off and it's, "Mr. Smith, please lay down.
Right.
You're fine."
Right.
Okay.
So
gives you a chance to go from point A to point B.
Absolutely. And then we can notify a nurse or a nursing assistant to go in. Do they need to use the restroom? Do they need something? Or are they just antsy? But that way we can monitor what's going on. It also allows us to protect their privacy, because if they are going to use the restroom or if they're going to change or something, there's a privacy screen that comes up.
Oh, there is?
There is, so that you are able to maintain their privacy so that they're not watching you use the restroom or change clothes. That lifts when they're finished, and you can continue to monitor the patient.
Privacy is an issue, isn't it?
It's always
I
an
never
issue.
even thought about that.
And we strive hard to protect everybody's privacy rights.
Interesting. Other things that you all are doing. I know we're going to take a break in just about a minute or so, and we're going to talk then about electronic records and stuff, but from a patient safety standpoint within the rooms, you were talking about railings and things like that.
Well, there are side rails on the beds.
Okay.
And that is obviously to protect people from rolling out. So there are 4 side rails. They usually have 2 up, because if you have 4 up, it's considered a restraint, which you can do with a physician's order.
Okay.
But usually they put 2 side rails up, and it's, you know, people fall asleep and they roll around. You want to make sure they don't roll out of the bed. And they have the beds in a low position so that if they need to get up or get out, they sit up, their feet touch the ground, so they're not dangling and have to jump out.
And I'm probably throwing you for a loop by asking you this, but I noticed that visitors tags are very important now for people who are walking through the hospital. You know, years and years ago, you just kind of cruised in and out at will.
Right.
What are the points? Tell me about patient safety and really visitor safety too.
We have to remember, anybody that comes in the building, we have to account for in case there's a fire.
Oh.
If there is some sort of security issue, we want to know who's
here, who's not, yes.
So that we can account for them. If we have to do an evacuation for any reason, we want to make sure that everyone is out of the building to make sure that they're safe. It's also to, some patients don't want visitors, so we need to check to make sure that when they come in, they're going to see Mr. Jones in room 312. We want to make sure Mr. Jones in 312
feels
wants
like
to
having
see
visitors.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Pain. It can be different things for different people. A shoulder that takes you out of the game. A knee that stops you in your tracks. Ready to return to a better you? Hilton Head Hospital is here, right in the Low Country, to help heal what hurts. From diagnosis to treatment to full recovery, our fellowship-trained orthopedic specialists are committed to getting you back to your best. Hilton Head Hospital. Extraordinary care right here at home.
Hilton Head Regional Medical Center is located at 25 Hospital Center Boulevard. When traveling east on William Hilton Parkway, make a left-hand turn on Beach City Road, and the next left, Hospital Center Boulevard will be located just past the Hilton Head Library.
Coastal Carolina Hospital is located on US 278 at Exit 8 on I-95. Telephone is 843-784-8000. On the web, www.coastalhospital.com.
The vision for Hilton Head Spine Center is very clear. It's to provide world-class spine care to our patients.
Physical therapists were there. They were there holding you up. It's nice.
I just love working with all of these patients and their families and getting to know them and helping them on their journey.
My life is definitely better, and I'm glad that I came here to Hilton Head Hospital.
Beth, we are back here on Healthy Living, and we're talking about patient safety and all of the interesting things that you all have going on here at the hospital to ensure that the patients here are as safe and healthy as they can be.
Right.
It's really fascinating. We had fun kind of talking during the break about some of the things we wanted to make sure that we covered during this segment. And let's kind of start with electronic records, because I know that's a huge issue in the media right now too.
Right. Well, with meaningful use, which I'm sure everybody's heard that term by now, part of it is implementation of the electronic medical record. We rolled out our initiative starting in October of 2013, and that was really the nursing portion of documentation on the computers. They call them WOWs.
Okay.
And they're computers on wheels, and they wheel them all over the place. You see them, and everybody, it's not just nursing, respiratory therapy, pharmacy, everyone uses them.
What's the benefit of having an electronic record?
The benefit is that it's, number one, you can read
True.
what is written.
Excellent.
You know,
Okay.
you have,
yes.
you don't have to deal with handwriting issues so much anymore. There are certain pieces of the record that are still handwritten, but the majority is electronic. So you can read it, and that's huge when it comes to continuum of care. So if I'm the day shift nurse, I need to know what the night shift before did, or if there were concerns.
That makes
sense.
sense.
If I can't read the handwriting, plus it's all right there. It's instantaneous. So you put it in the record, and it's there to stay. So that is a huge issue with respect to being able to have the records available, being able to read them, and making good use of what they've done.
And I'm kind of going all over, so you might want to, but we were talking about advanced directives, initiatives, barcoding, all of these things that part and parcel are attached to patient records.
Right.
Can you take us through some of the important parts of what you all need and what you have and what really helps you to be an efficient community here?
Sure. You know, a prepared patient is the best patient, quite frankly, and an educated patient really is somebody who is going to get the maximum use out of their experience in a hospital.
And that makes sense to me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So one of the things we always recommend, even if you are 25 years old and you're coming in for an elective surgery, have an advance directive.
What does that look like?
There's 3 in South Carolina.
Okay.
There is what's known as the healthcare power of attorney.
Okay.
And that is important because it allows you to determine who's going to make the decisions for you if you're unable to do so.
Gotcha.
If you don't make those decisions, somebody else is going to be making them for you.
So pick the person you want.
Right.
That makes sense.
You want to pick somebody who has the same philosophy as you do in terms of do you
if
want
you have
to be
a hangnail,
right. Do you want us to start doing chest compressions on you if you stop breathing or not? The other is declaration of natural death, which is what we know as the living will. And that specifies, you can name all sorts of things, but it really specifies, do you want hydration?
Okay.
Do you want nutrition given? Do you want pain medication given? The types of treatment that you actually want us to do. Do you want to be on a ventilator? Do you not want to be on a ventilator? And it spells out for your caregivers and your family what the specifics are.
Again, it's being an empowered patient and person.
Absolutely.
Third one
is the 5 wishes. And the 5 wishes is essentially a national document. It's not limited to South Carolina. All 50 states now accept it.
Okay.
And it really encompasses the 2 documents. You pick who you want to make the decisions, and then you pick what sorts of things that you want.
Maybe this is a naive question, but for many people, they don't know how to get that. Do you have to go to an attorney? Can you go online? Do you just need to have something notarized?
You can get it online, actually. You can go right to the South Carolina Department of Aging. You can print it. The 5 wishes, they do have a charge because it is a charitable organization, so it's $5.
Okay.
The others you can print. You can also contact an attorney if you wish. We have copies of them, so oftentimes I get phone calls saying, do you have these documents? And I can provide the documents. We can't complete it for you or help you complete it, but we can certainly provide the documents so you can have it done.
What else helps us to be good consumers for you?
Well, part of the electronic medical record now is if you are admitted into the hospital, you can have and register, and you will be asked at registration if you want to sign up for your personal portal.
Okay, personal portal.
Right.
Okay.
So what that means is, while you're in the hospital, you can actually look at yourself, your own records.
Oh, how cool is, okay.
Anything that is real time. So not everything is there.
Sure.
Some things do not generate until you're discharged. But let's say you're a part-time resident here. You're 6 months here, 6 months in Ohio. Well, you have doctors here, you have doctors in Ohio. You can actually arrange to email to your Ohio doctor some of your lab work if you want them to see, so that they know what's happening with you.
Right, maybe provide insight if you need it.
Right.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
So you can look at your records, you can have them sent to whomever you name. It's all within your control. We ask everybody who's being admitted if they want to participate or not, and then once we do, you control.
Are people hesitant or are they excited about it?
I think people are excited about it. We do have an educated population of healthcare consumers. So I think this will really go far in enabling them to be up on their medical care.
So once I am discharged, can I still access that portal? Is that part of my permanent record?
Yes.
Okay.
You can still also go to our medical records office and get a copy of anything you would like.
Okay, all right.
But when this is fully expanded, you'll actually be able to go and print off your home computer
exactly
what you want to have.
I think that's pretty amazing. What
It
else?
is. The other thing, which is always something that I'm very interested in, is ensuring patient identification. So
Okay.
you want to make sure that you have the right patient getting the right medications, for example. We now have, with the electronic medical record, comes barcoding. And what I mean by that is everybody has
all
a bracelet.
go to the grocery
That's
store.
right. So you wear the electronic bracelet.
Right.
Nurse comes in and says, what's your name and date of birth? And then they have a scanner and they scan. And that comes up. If you're the right patient with the right medications they're trying to give you, it matches.
It's really
If it
like a
doesn't,
check and balance, isn't it?
Absolutely. If it doesn't match, it rejects, the system rejects it, and then the nurse starts over to make sure, wait a minute, do I have the right patient? Have I gone into the wrong room? Do I have the wrong medication? So it's all electronically monitored.
Oh, I
and
think
gives
that's
us another stopgap.
Oh, I think that's fascinating.
Yes.
What other good things like that do you have? And those are the two good ones that you really enjoy. But I think, again, you know, we talk a lot of times about going into the emergency room and things to bring. Do you still want people to bring copies of their insurance, all of that?
Right. You should always have a copy of your insurance.
Okay.
It just makes life easier for you when it comes to the billing world.
What kind of identification counts as identification? Is it still just something as simple as a driver's license?
Driver's license, the personal identification card that the state will issue if you don't have a driver's license.
Okay.
Passport. The other key thing that you should always have is your medication list. An up-to-date list of medications is critical, because if you know we have plenty of patients that are on 10 plus medications, and all you know is I take a purple pill, a green pill, a white pill. It's hard to remember these names. So you can make sure that you have those lists current, so that when you get in here, the physicians know what you're on, they know it matches with the condition, and they know not to give you a medication that may counteract with something you're already taking.
When someone goes through the process of being admitted and then is a patient here, are there exit surveys, or are there ways that folks can, I'm sure you hear when there are grumbles, but are there ways people can present with positive testimonials to how well their care has been? I just had someone recently share with me how surprised, she was a visitor, how surprised she was at how current, professional, just the credentialing, her experience in the hospital.
Right.
And I wished that I had had a venue for her to really share that.
Okay. Well, there's several ways. Number one, that we do post-discharge telephone calls.
Okay.
So we do them in-house, and we also have an outside vendor that does them professionally. So you can always, obviously, use that venue. People send letters to the CEO routinely, praising people.
Good.
And once the CEO gets the letter, he passes it on to the person or persons who have been praised, so that they know.
Good.
We also have programs for nursing, like the Daisy Award. We've talked about the Daisy Award before, and yesterday we had a new Daisy Award winner, and it's a nurse who was recommended by a former patient's family for her great care while their family member was here.
I tell you, it is always really fun to talk with you. We learn so much about not only just patient safety, but all the kind of ins and outs and nuances of what's going on with the hospital. Beth, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Debbie.
We want to thank all of you for joining us here on Healthy Living. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.